In the ancient days of Polynesia, long before clocks ticked away the hours, time was measured by the sun's journey across the sky. But there was a problem. The sun was a sprinter, a fiery blur that raced from horizon to horizon so fast that the days were just a fleeting moment of light. The world lived in a constant rush, a frantic scramble against the approaching twilight. For the people, this meant their work was never done. Fishermen couldn't mend their nets, farmers couldn't tend their fields, and the beautiful kappa cloth, a symbol of their culture, never had enough time to dry under the weak, fleeting warmth. It was a life of endless, unfinished tasks, shadowed by the impending darkness. Among the villagers lived a young man. Not just any young man, but a demigod, known for his cleverness and immense strength. His name was Maui. Maui had a mischievous streak, but his heart was filled with love for his people, and especially for his mother, Hina. Day after day, he watched her with a heavy heart. Hina was renowned for her skill in making kappa, a soft, patterned cloth beaten from the bark of the mulberry tree. She would work tirelessly, pounding the fibers, dyeing them with vibrant colors from plants and earth. But her beautiful creations were always at the mercy of the hasty sun. She would lay her damp kappa claws out on the rocks, hoping for them to dry. But no sooner had she spread them out than the sun would begin its rapid descent, plunging the world into dusk. The claws remained damp, sometimes even getting ruined by the evening dew. Maui saw the frustration and sadness in his mother's eyes. He saw the unfinished nets of the fishermen and the wilting crops in the fields. A fire of determination ignited within him. He looked up at the sky, his jaw set, and made a solemn vow. He would not let his mother and his people suffer any longer. He would do the impossible. He would confront the sun itself and force it to slow down. Maui knew a challenge this monumental couldn't be won with brute force alone. He needed wisdom, magic, and a plan. So he embarked on a journey to seek the counsel of the one person he knew who possessed ancient knowledge beyond his own. His grandmother, who lived deep in the mystical slopes of the great mountain. The journey was long and arduous, but Maui's resolve never wavered. When he finally reached her, he explained his bold plan. His grandmother, wise and knowing, saw the fire in his eyes and knew he was serious. Instead of cautioning him against such a reckless idea, she decided to aid him. She gifted him 2 essential tools for his quest. First, she gave him a magic adze, a stone axe so powerful it could chip away at the very fabric of the heavens. Its edge was sharper than any ordinary blade, imbued with the power of the earth itself. Second, and perhaps even more crucial, were the ropes. But these were no ordinary ropes. Maui's sister, Hina of the hair, was famous for her incredibly long, strong hair. With her blessing, the grandmother wove 16 powerful, unbreakable ropes from her magical strands. Each rope was a marvel of strength and enchantment, strong enough to hold a god. Armed with his magic adze and the enchanted ropes, Maui was ready. He thanked his grandmother, his heart filled with gratitude and a renewed sense of purpose. The time for planning was over. The time for action had come. With his magical tools in hand, Maui set his sights on the perfect location for his ambush, the colossal volcano Haleakalā. In the ancient tongue, its name meant House of the Sun, for it was here at its very peak that the sun was said to rest before beginning its daily race across the sky. The ascent was grueling. He climbed higher and higher above the clouds, through chilling winds and rugged terrain. The air grew thin, but Maui's demigod strength pushed him onward. He reached the vast, silent crater at the summit just as darkness enveloped the world. There, in the cold, pre-dawn stillness, he waited. He found a strong, gnarled willy-willy tree, its roots dug deep into the volcanic rock, and knew it would be his anchor. He carefully laid out his 16 enchanted ropes, creating a series of snares, a web of immense power aimed directly at the eastern rim of the crater where the sun would first appear. As he worked, he could feel the power thrumming through the ropes made from his sister's hair. He checked each knot, each loop, ensuring his trap was perfect. The world held its breath. The stars began to fade, and a faint glow appeared on the horizon. The sun was coming. Maui hid behind a rock, his magic adze clutched tightly in his hand, his heart pounding with anticipation. As the first light of dawn painted the sky, the sun began its ascent, but it didn't rise as a single fiery ball. Instead, its long, powerful rays appeared one by one over the crater's edge, like the legs of a monstrous celestial creature probing the world before launching into its sprint. This was the moment Maui had been waiting for. With lightning speed and perfect aim, he hurled his first lasso. It snared one of the sun's rays, and Maui pulled with all his might, quickly tying the end of the rope to the sturdy willy-willy tree. One down. The sun staggered, confused. Before it could react, Maui threw another rope, and another, and another. In a flurry of motion, he captured each of the sun's 16 powerful legs, binding them securely to the tree. The mighty sun was trapped, held fast to the earth, unable to begin its hurried journey. A battle of epic proportions erupted at the top of the world. The sun, enraged and ensnared, fought back with all its divine fury. It thrashed and roared, unleashing waves of scorching heat that turned the rocks around Maui red-hot. The air shimmered and boiled. The willy-willy tree smoked and sizzled, but held firm, anchored by its deep roots and the strength of the magical ropes. Maui, undeterred, stood his ground against the searing inferno. He gripped his magic stone adze, its cool surface a stark contrast to the blistering heat. With a powerful war cry, he charged. He leaped and dodged the sun's fiery attacks, bringing his adze down again and again against the sun's blazing body. Each strike from the enchanted blade chipped away at its power, weakening its resolve. The clash was deafening, a cacophony of thunderous blows and furious roars that echoed across the islands. The struggle raged on, a timeless duel between a determined demigod and a cornered god. Finally, exhausted, battered, and beaten, the sun could take no more. Its brilliant light dimmed and its furious heat subsided. "Mercy," it cried out, its voice weak. "What do you want from me?" Maui had won. Panting but victorious, Maui stood over the weakened sun and laid out his terms. He wasn't there to destroy it, but to bargain for a better world. He spoke of his mother, Hina, and her damp kappa cloth. He spoke of the fishermen with their unfinished nets and the farmers with their thirsty crops. He demanded that the sun change its ways for the good of all people. A new pact was forged between God and demigod. The sun agreed to a compromise. For 6 months of the year, what we now know as summer, it would travel slowly and deliberately across the sky, giving the world long, warm days. For the other 6 months, the winter, it could travel at its faster pace. This agreement would ensure there was ample time for Hina's kappa to dry to perfection, for fishermen to prepare their gear, and for crops to soak in the life-giving light. Satisfied, Maui released the sun from its bonds. True to its word, the sun began its new measured journey, and a long, glorious day unfolded, the first of many. When Maui returned to his village, the light was still shining brightly in the late afternoon. He saw his mother's kappa cloths, bone-dry and beautiful, laid out in the golden light. He was hailed as a hero. From that day forward, the long summer days allowed the people of Hawaii to thrive, and the great mountain where the epic battle took place would forever be known by its fitting name, Haleakalā, the House of the Sun, a permanent monument to the demigod who dared to tame a god for the love of his mother. Thank you so much for watching this journey into the heart of Hawaiian mythology. If you enjoyed the story of Maui and his incredible feat, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tailies from around the world. We'll see you in the next video.